Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to VTM Coteries of New York. And things have become a little bit strange here, guys, which is very appropriate because we have a child of Malkav to track down. Xavier is in Lower Manhattan trying to find Hope, the Malkavian that Sophie said would make a good addition to our coterie. And we have tracked her haven down to an old internet cafe, so let's see if we can convince her to go ahead and join the team. So we are indeed traveling into a different world, crossing one invisible portal after another. Eventually, you reach your destination. Your guide motions you to enter a dark room with a long source of pale light, a computer screen in the distance beckoning you to come closer. Cool-looking haven. As you do, you hear the door shutting behind your back and a short chuckle echoing behind it. Is this the place? Nothing else to do but sit on a chair in front of the computer. The monitor displays a modern chat application. A cursor is blinking in the user nickname entry field in the middle of the screen, obviously expecting you to input your handle. After brief consideration, you type in Do we want to do this? Let's do our name. Xavier. Better play it straight and prove you have nothing to hide as a gesture of goodwill. After a few seconds, the chat window opens, and messages start appearing on the screen in quick succession. Oh wow, holy crap. Okay, let's wait for all of this to pop up on the screen. It is like a chat room. Holy crap. Just to be clear, I don't have a wank rag. LMAO. Oh, for sure. No, for real. Cult of Luna. LMAO was meant for Jerry, OFC. Not much longer. Yeah, Jerry is the chat MVP. I mean, I've been admitted to far worse things on here. God, I'm so horny. Not sure why I'd have the need to lie about this one. Oh my god, literally, who cares? You and me both, bozo. Wait, who is Xavier? Xavier? No idea. A new user. Wasn't here a second before. What the hell? Was anyone informed? No announcement. I know I wasn't. At Jerry 2010? At Xavier. Identify yourself within 2 minutes or get banned. The chat goes silent. Everyone seemingly waiting for you to say something before proceeding. This must be a close-knit group. You better say something before they kick you out. Looking for Hope. Is she here? Oh man, we're gonna have to read all the chat log. I bet this is all Hope typing the same stuff. This is like her chorus, for lack of a better term. Who the fuck are you? This was meant to be a safe channel. Investigating what went wrong. How did they even get in here? Stay calm. Can you get their location, Jerry? LOL. Yeah, sure. That's our Jerry. Gonna DM it to anyone interested. Oh boy, now you're in trouble, Xavier. Yeah, you're gonna regret, dumbass, the day you decided to spy on us. Try to get the chat under control? I don't think it works like that. Wait, calm down. Oh, okay. We're just gonna keep on going. Calm down. Fuck off. The one guy brought me here. Doubtful. Thought this is where I can meet Hope. Yeah, I'm calling bullshit. Jerry, how are things on your end? Got the info. Nice. You want to die, asshole? You will die. You will die. 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 Sentenced to death for a shitty name their mom gave to them. Tough shit. I'm literally on my way to kill you, RN. Yeah, sorry to inform you that you're about to die. Rip, bitch. You're gonna get your throat slit right here, right now. A split second after you read the message, you feel someone's arms tightening around your neck. The violent return to reality catches you off guard. A jolt of panic rushes through your brain, paralyzing you momentarily. You've come to the wrong chat room, motherfucker. A ridiculous whisper rings out next to your ear, and the grip under your head gets even tighter. You start struggling, but even with your newfound supernatural strength, you're having trouble breaking out. This isn't a normal human you're dealing with. Last words? Sophie sent me here. Langley? The hand holding your chin shifts its position slightly. Don't struggle, or I'll break your windpipe. Or my phone, which would end even worse for you. Sounds of a camera shutter and a light flashing. Did they just take some selfies with you? I kind of want to give her the Harley Quinn voice, but I don't know that would be appropriate. Alright, that's enough fun. I'm letting you go, and we can have a talk. Don't do anything stupid, Mr. Intruder. Pretty please? The mysterious assailant loosens their grip on you and gently pushes you away. You quickly turn to take a good look at them. Let me just finish this. It's a pale blonde woman in her 20s, giving you slightly judgmental looks while rapidly tapping away at her phone screen. First, you notice her outrageous outfit, seemingly thrown together from random thrift store finds. Then, you take note of her tattoos, a sprawling tapestry of odd patterns and designs covering every visible part of her body. At first glance, it all seems aimless, but it has a consistent sense of style upon closer inspection. Her eyes focus on you for a second. Gave you a scare, huh? Sorry, but that's what you get for entering a lady's haven without her permission. And she's back to her phone. With her relatively small build, it's hard to believe you had trouble overpowering her physically. But then again, nothing is what it seems when it comes to the undead. And even compared to the vampires you've met so far, she comes off as an eccentric, curious presence. She shoots you another glass, noticing you're still cautious of her. Calm yourself, man. I won't pull anything like this anymore. It was just I feel stupid saying it out loud. A vibe check. Vibe check. Yeah, I got a glimpse of your vibe on the internet, and in a dangerous situation. I'd say I've got a pretty good idea about who you really are. I'm Hope, by the way. Now, if you're here, you've probably heard of me, so I went ahead and skipped the pleasantries. But come to think of it, I might have skipped too many of those. Yeah, she definitely fits the description you were given by Sophie. Anyway, don't worry about the chat. It was all a game to us. No hard feelings, okay? I'll introduce you properly later. On the monitor, the chatter continues normally. Your visit is like yesterday's news, no longer relevant to anything. Oh, okay. So it's maybe like the Madness Network, like literally and figuratively. But, look, if we're going to talk about you, you should have something to say too. What are you doing here? About time she asked. Note to self, she really loves the sound of her own voice. I came to you because I need help. Hope gives you a pitiful look. So do I. Too bad I think therapy is a scam. She gets too close for comfort to give you a closer look. After a few seconds, some kind of realization dawns on her face. She points her finger at you. Wait. Shit. Are you the new Langley plaything? Word seems to be getting around fast. Of course you are. It was obvious the second Langley got her hands on a new servant, she'd start building a network. Your emissions tell me... Oh, that could really come in handy when... Oh, but Langley, that's a risky game. This kind of ambition attracts too much attention. Piss off. But then again, fucking Kara. She seems to be having a spirited argument with herself. Only parts of it audible. Is it just you, or do her facial expressions and body language change a bit between one sentence and the other? Before you make certain it's not just your eyes playing tricks on you, she focuses half of her attention back on you. The other half, of course, is still obsessed with her smartphone. Listen, I'm not saying I'm not interested in cooperation, but before I make a decision, I need to make sure you sort of understand me, and that I sort of understand you. And since I was planning to put on a show before you came here, I propose a little game. Hope absent-mindedly spins her phone in her hand, considering how to put her thoughts into words. Then, she approaches a switch on the wall and flicks it. Neon lights flare up, illuminating the room, and you take a look around. Oh. The room is certainly unique. It looks like a butcher's room, repurposed to be a living space. The modern computer in front of you starkly contrasts the ominous industrial walls. At the back, there's an overwrought bed covered in velvet with meat hooks hanging above. On top of the bed sheets, you notice what seems to be pieces of elaborate S&M equipment. And a camera. Wait a minute. You want my help? Moderate my cam show. Cam show? Your eyebrows twitch involuntarily. This is definitely not the kind of request you expected to hear tonight. And she notices your confusion. Take it or leave it, buddy. You just became a kindred, but you want to become my partner in crime? Show me you can handle yourself while watching my back in my everyday environment. She's serious. The show starts in 10 minutes. If you think yourself better than this, you better walk out of the door right now. I won't hold a grudge. I've got better things to do. As if to prove it, she looks at something displayed on her phone and cracks a brief grin. Another reply typed down with absurd speed. Tap, 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 tap. 9 minutes. It's now or never. Show moderator. Risk of violating the Masquerade? Hi. Content warnings? Oh yes. So, do you take the job? If I have to. Hope rolls her eyes further back than you thought was possible. If I have to. Not exactly an inspiring person, are you? She begins to sigh, but stifles it quickly and reflects. Sorry, I get it. You might have gotten a bad first impression of me or whatever, but I promise this will prove surprisingly educational. Alright, give me a second. She spends a minute setting up the computer you used before, then urges you to sit down. The explanation of the moderator's functionalities is simple. It boils down to ignoring anyone who doesn't disrupt the chat, banning anyone who does, and kicking anyone who's causing minor trouble. 5 minutes later, She's already online, sitting on her bed in a provocative pose. It is a sex show, isn't it? Her voice, previously hushed, rings out with full force. How are you doing tonight, hopefuls? You peek at the chat. Okay, I'm not going to read all of these, but I'll bring up the ones that seem pertinent. Okay. This seems like normal behavior from what we've observed from the chat. You're tempted to try the kick and ban prompts as soon as possible, but obviously, you won't punish someone for a little dirty talk. Thank you! Today's show is quite special. Please welcome our new moderator, Xavier. I'm sorry for sentencing you to death earlier. Well, at least the community here seems to be a bit more welcoming this time. Looks like this place has an established hazing ritual. Or maybe they and Hope came up with one specifically for you. Who knows? You decide to stay silent. Eventually, people stop riffing on you and focus entirely on the star of the show. Alright, let's start this one with a bang, shall we? So, this is where the strip show starts? You raise your head, curious about what kind of performance she's going for. First, she opens her mouth and reveals her retractable fangs in front of the camera. Right off the bat, the online audience is treated to a sight of her wholly human set of teeth turning into a monster's maw. The image is both revolting and fascinating. She raises her left wrist for everyone to see and then bites. The fangs immediately turn her arm into a horrifying, gory mess. It's unclear if she used them to slash or bite, but one thing's for sure, no ordinary human can cause such damage. If an ordinary human suffered such a wound, you'd expect a geyser of blood to appear too, but it doesn't. Hope's technically a corpse, so it's impossible. She flashes a monstrous smile and starts smearing Vitae all over her hand to maximize the impact of the violent image. Then, she starts drinking it up. She makes it a point to make the sight as gruesome as possible, looking like a hyena feasting on a corpse. The contrast of her behavior with her look on the Instagram model is stunning. Once she's done, she reveals the wrist to the camera for the last time. She starts making theatrical gestures with her right arm as the wound begins to mend. Shortly after, it's no longer there. It's like a magician's trick. Her left hand looks like nothing wrong ever happened to it. Here's an appetizer. First blood to kick off the show. While you're wondering what the hell is going on, Hope catches a glimpse of your bewildered face and turns in your direction. How's that for an opening? This is not a sex show? Sex? What, were you counting on me getting naked in front of you or something? Oh, honey, we've just met each other. If you expected a strip show, yeah, sorry to disappoint. This is more like live stream digital art. The erotic subtext is there, of course. You peek at the chat, and they're going wild. Uh-huh. But eroticism is not the key here. It's vampirism. It's a new frontier, a living art installation. In the early 90s, the Japanese artists kept producing these videotapes with beautiful women committing gory harakiri. Those are an inspiration. She bares her fangs again in a devious grin. But I've no interest in auto-destruction or turning myself into a victim. This is a celebration of a body I love, not self-inflicted punishment. The audience came here to marvel at a beautiful vampire and her awe-inspiring powers. Mending wounds is just one of those. The people watching can pay to see more. Oh, and don't worry, the only things the audience can see and hear are the things I allow them to. We can talk freely. Just remember to moderate the chat, will you? High risk of violating the Masquerade. What a joke, she's blatantly breaching it in front of anonymous viewers. Still speechless, you turn your attention to the screen. Okay. Oh. Tattoo. I think this would be something I would ignore. Except Masochist Sama. Do we... Hold on. Let's look at our brief here real quick. I need to see what the infractions are. Ignoring anyone who doesn't disrupt the chat, banning anyone who does, and kicking anyone who's causing minor trouble. Okay. I guess we could kick. We'll ignore for right now. I'm not sure if this is going to be an issue. You let the guy vent his excitement. Seems harmless. A special message appears on the chat log, claiming somebody has successfully sponsored the first goal of the show. Hope smiles and picks up a bag of blood underneath the bed. It must have been a treat from a blood bank. She showcases the label to the camera for everyone to see. Hope pours all the contents of the bag into her throat. You have no doubt it's real blood, but I wonder why the viewers would be so satisfied with something that's so easy to fake. Don't worry, it pays well enough. You don't even bother to tell her this is not what you're thinking about. It's safe to assume she knows. So, what do you know about the Kindred and the internet? Have they told you anything? While she's waiting for someone to sponsor her next vampiric feat, she decides to start a conversation. No, nothing. Well, makes sense. Not the first thing you teach to a fledgling. See, some of us used to experiment with our own secure networks. We tried to build our own information hub, social networks, everything. She's still working the phone in one hand while looking for something under the bed with the other. On how many things can she concentrate at one time exactly? Then one day, the NSA got in. Turns out elders never really got the hang of proper security practices, when the sigils they used to smear on their screens didn't exactly work as advertised. Then, of course, all the other three-lettered intelligence agency in the world got the intel, and a lot of them decided bloodsuckers were the perfect new enemies for our post-9/11 times. The Second Inquisition came into being. Ever heard of it? A lot of our kind died just because they were too present online. Right now, the remains of our old network serve as government honeypots, kept alive to attract fledglings and hunt them down. I did read that in the 5th edition core book that ShrekNet which was like the super secure Nosferatu computer network, got hacked. So that kind of set the ball rolling. You post a certain keyword on Twitter or Facebook, you get tagged for investigation. You fit certain patterns, you get tagged for investigation. So there's a certain thrill in becoming an online presence without attracting attention from the authorities. She stretches on the bed. I hope you're still monitoring the chat. Of course not. She's not as good as dividing your attention, or you're not as good as dividing your attention as she is. You correct your mistake and check the recent messages. Call of Duty on one screen, drop dash. Hope? More like, oh. Yeah, let's go ahead and kick. You give the guy a kick. Get yourself a normal nickname, douchebag. After 10 seconds, he's back with the same handle. Time for a decision. Ignore or ban. Let's head for the minor stuff, so... This kind of nickname only suggests trouble. You get rid of them permanently. Good job. She's keeping close tabs on you. Anyway, yeah. When the Nosferatu admitted to Camarilla their network got compromised, the elders went batshit insane. Internet communications became strictly forbidden. There were executions. A lot of people who use social media to secretly contact their mortal families and lovers got offed. That goes without saying. But if you weren't careful, even the most innocent web usage could result in being punished with final death. Thanks to user DIXSTEELE, Dicksteel, the next goal has just gotten successfully funded. She raises her hand. 3 fingers up, 2 fingers up, 1 finger up. Oh. Okay, so she's not actually talking. The countdown ends and she immediately disappears from the screen. Like a ghost. You can still see her on the bed, but the live feed indicates that there's nobody there. When you deeply focus on the digital image, you swear you can make out some unusual glitching where her silhouette should be. But it could very well just be placebo. You ready for this? 3, 2, 1. A flash of a camera. The instant she reappears on the screen, she takes a selfie, sticking her tongue out in a provocative manner. The chat room explodes and cheers again. She is their vampire queen. So, that is obfuscate right there. You briefly wonder about her being glued to the screen. Is this the fantasy everyone is here for? A girl showing off cheap magic tricks while lazily browsing her social media? You realize you are way out of your depth here. Meanwhile, Hope decides to continue her lecture. Those were some wild times, especially in New York. While most of them have no clue as to our real nature, a lot of clandestine organizations have classified us as national threats. And since this is where the towers fell, the agencies are very much present around here, looking for some easy PR victories. The last SI raid here was just a few years ago, and it was a big one. Stirred up the hornet's nest something fierce. But although it's 2019, NYC is ruled by someone who got embraced before World War II, and the cam as a whole got really spooked and swore off the internet. Of course, they're not dumb and understand that you can't really coexist with modern kind without the internet. It's a gray zone right now. Like piracy. Technically frowned upon, but let the one without sin cast the first stone. The SI is a real threat, no joke, but in many senses, the darkest place is right under the candle. You take another look at the screen. Alright. A familiar nickname pops up. Alright, now it's just spam. Kick! You give the guy a kick for spamming the chat. The message is deleted so fast, Hope might not have even noticed. A duty carried out well. You're surprised to feel an inkling of pride. Oh yeah! Fun fact about being a vampire. We can sweat and pee if we just exert ourselves really hard. Some of us can even orgasm. We can even cry, but only tears of blood. It's something I always dreamed to do when I was 14. So romantic. And it drives them crazy. As proof of her words, a scarlet tear starts running down her face. The chat goes wild. This seems to be exactly the kind of thing they've been waiting for. Wow. I will ignore it once. You aren't sure if the guy is satirizing a certain type of poster, so you give him a pass. However, the chat quickly makes it sure he's known here as a repeat offender. Hope gives you a tired look before continuing on with the show. You correct your mistake and ban the guy before, but the damage is done. Everyone starts clowning on you again. Just to be clear, you realize what we're doing here is a blatant breach of the Masquerade, right? I honestly expected you to leave or inform somebody by now, but you haven't, have you? You try to focus on the chat. A familiar nickname is displayed on the screen. And that's Bannon. Looks like Mr. Masochist needs a longer break. After you ban him, you hear Hope's voice. Good job handling that guy. Great. If nothing else works out, seems like you fit this job at the very least. In any case, the last goal has just been funded. It's time for the great finale. This is what you all been waiting for, right? Her voice has changed. She gets closer to the camera, letting her face fill the frame of the live feed. Her mesmerizing eyes are focused purely on the viewers. She's gonna demontate them all. You wanted blood? Come out into the streets. Claw out your neighbors' throats. Slash their veins. And drink up. Okay. Hope's presence, or it could be presence too. Hope's presence becomes absolutely horrifying. It influences the chat in some incomprehensible way. Everyone starts typing like they were possessed. Liberate yourselves from the shackles of ordinary mortality. Make them scream. Feel the warmth of their entrails. Like turning them into murlocs. What the hell is she doing to those people? What have you gotten yourself into? Actually, dementation now is a sub-power of dominate, so that's what she's doing right now. She's dominating all of them. Transcend your bodies. Release the message of hope into the world. She starts jerking violently for a second, and then falls down on the bed like a marionette that just had its strings severed. She exhales loudly a few times. And laughs. When she does, the room goes dark again. Alright, that's enough. Instead of taking the continuing, she does something with her phone. The stream ends and the chat instantly becomes dead quiet. Let me take over. The atmosphere in the room has completely changed. She's already put herself together and stood up. And now she's walking towards you. Okay, this is the chat again. After every line she delivers, she changes her voice. The way she puts her lips together. Even the way she... Oh, okay. Gotcha. So I thought that was just the chat. That was her reading everything. You caught glimpses of her acting this way, but only now you started to figure it out. But that's impossible. I'm immortal. I'm bored. I'm separated from most vampires in this city by a generational chasm. And I'm so goddamn lonely. The internet used to be my only friend. Years ago, I started researching tulpas, collective unconsciousness, and all the mumbo-jumbo at the intersection of psychology and spirituality, and I decided to experiment. The show was fake. A few years later, I was an Instagram fashionista, a successful erotic model, a vital part of pop culture commentariat, a viral shitposter, a cryptocurrency expert. And all of my internet selves started signal boosting each other, paving the way for new ones. I became a one-woman empire, surrounded by legions of psycho fans. The chat was fake. Some may think of it as a dissociative identity disorder, but that's bullshit. Everyone has online alter egos they buried. I just resurrected them and gave birth to new ones and let them crossbreed. Her constant tapping at the phone, even during the show. Somehow, she's capable of impersonating an entire chat room. I don't even have a self that could disassociate or be mentally ill. I'm a host, a living database. I live because I find it fun to be an information conduit, to process trends and support the ones I deem worthy. There was no Masquerade violation. She was showing off her skills all along. She put you into a world of pure fiction, the same way she was testing you back when she attacked you from the back. Damn. She's good at this. Of course, you can just ignore what I'm saying and decide I'm just another deranged Malkavian. But hey, annihilation of the self is the only way to survive in the 21st century. If there ever was an era that demanded images of beautiful people transcending beyond humanity and inspiring others to do the same, it's this one. Although for now, because of Masquerade, my audience is quite limited. Speaking of, you want to be the star of my next movie? Need some time to mull it over? Sure. No. Sorry to disappoint. But yeah, your test is over. Now the question is, do I want to work with you? She puts away her phone for the first time since you've met her and gives you a good, hard look. Yes, I can give it a shot, yeah. You're not that dumb, but you're not that boring. And you're kind of cute. Don't worry, no more modding jobs. Mods get attached, and that's always bad news. She grabs your arm and starts leading you out of her room. Oh, I've put you through enough shit. Next time, I'll let you in on a little job I'm doing. We'll hit the streets and you'll see why Sophie told you to contact me. She leads you through a labyrinth of gray corridors. It's a different route than the one you made your way through in. This city is so much more than what its elites consider real. Stick with me and I'll guide you to places Camarilla elders couldn't reach in 100 years. She leads you out of the building, into the back alleys. Even if someone else rules the streets, we'll rule the information highways. This is the power of hope. She lets out a theatrical laugh and disappears. You don't even notice when she leaves you alone, but you assume everything went as well as it could? A new ally. The power of hope. As you walk off into the night, everything around you feels a little less tangible than it did a few hours ago. Alright, I didn't really know how to do that because that was just like so many different voices. But still, that is very cool. We had that instinct originally that she was pretty much the chat, but I didn't think it was going to go that far. Holy crap. So, we have a Malkavian friend and a Nosferatu friend. Who will our next friends be? I guess we will find out when the next night goes down. So we'll go ahead and end it here and pick it up next time. Hope you all have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.